Peace family, thank you for watching Lee in a 5D. This is Lee and today's video is going to be a little different. I usually like to do like crafts and talking, but today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to make opal earrings or opal jewelry. I like to call them Opal-like earrings in my business. These earrings are very popular in my Etsy shop and on my website. Beautifully Created. If you want to check that out, it's beautifullycreatedllc.com with L-E-E at the end instead of L-Y. But yeah, these earrings are very popular because they do look real and they're very affordable because they're made with resin and Mylar paper. But I just wanted to give you guys a tutorial because I do see a lot of videos out there with, you know, creators making opal jewelry or trying to figure out how to get the opal to look as natural as possible. And I feel like the way I do it, it makes it look very natural. So I started out here with the resin. Of course, you want to put the resin in the cup, and it's a UV resin, of course. And I put a couple drops of white alcohol ink inside to make it look like the foggy look that opal has. Some people like to file the jewelry to make it look foggy to give it like the matte finish, but I don't really like the matte finish, so I just add a couple drops of the alcohol ink, and if you do not too much, it makes it still look a little transparent, so you can see the flash through the white ink. And I added the Mylar paper inside of the resin. And when you stir this into the resin, you want to make sure you want to go slow as possible in the beginning because the Mylar sheets will fly and you will have a mess at your desk. So you do want to make sure that you go slow when you start to mix it at first. You see me adding a good amount of the Mylar sheets, and that's just because you want to make sure that the consistency is as chunky as possible, because if you don't put enough, you won't really have like the flash in the earrings. So you want to make sure when you make the resin that you're putting a lot of the Mylar paper. Like, it really has to be a chunky consistency, not like too chunky to where when you put it in the mold that it's going to create holes and divots, but it does have to be chunky to where like you can see it at the top of the resin. So I just I put it into the mold, and when you put it in the mold, you might be tempted to like use little bits of the Mylar paper, but you want to make sure that the pieces that you're using are as big as possible to be able to fit into the mold, of course, but it does have to be big pieces to make it look authentic, because if you use tiny pieces, it's not gonna flash as good as it would if you use pieces as big as possible. And you will see what I mean at the end of the video. I'll show you, the flash and how the big pieces make the flash look extraordinary. So I'm just adding the resin into the molds, and you want to make sure that you want to try to stick your tool into the resin and make sure that you're like moving it around so that there's no bubbles underneath. And you want to make sure that on top of the surface, the Mylar sheets are as flat as possible, so that when you do lay your other piece on top, if you do like earrings in this method, that when you lay it on top, it will be flat, so the other piece will lay as flat as possible. And then you want to cure for 120 seconds. And when you finish curing, I like to do one side at a time because it's just easier to manage. But when you finish curing, you want to kind of touch the top to make sure that there is no pieces sticking up, because when you put the other side on top, it won't lay flat. So when you feel the little pieces sticking up, you could just take a emery board, a nail file, and just file the top, but do it as flat as possible so you don't ruin your mold. So I'm just filing to make sure everything is flat and the surface is nice and flat and flush, so the other piece can lay flush on the piece. And I'm going to do the other side of the earrings. And I just want to say, I thank you guys for tuning into my video. I thank you so much for watching. Every view, every like, every comment, everything helps these channels. I'm pretty sure if you are watching YouTube channels regularly, you hear creators saying this often. This is basically, how we like to, or how we want to. You want to encourage engagement on YouTube channels so that as many people as possible can see them. Because what's the point in making videos if no one is seeing them, right? So if you guys would just, if you like what you see, you can subscribe to my channel. If you like the content, give me a like. You could drop a comment down in the description, just saying that you like the video, or giving a suggestion on anything else that you would like to see me create, or anything that you like to talk about, because I do like to talk while I create things on this channel. And I don't mean like small talk, I mean like deep talks. So if you have any um, suggestions, please put it down in the comments and I will be happy to talk to you guys about anything. But I just did the second half of the earrings and I cured them. So now I'm going to take them out of the mold. I'm not sure if you can see exactly how, the flash is here. You can see it kind of, but at the end of the video, you will really see how vibrant and bright that flash is. It almost looks like there are lights inside of the earrings. I'm not even kidding. But everything that I purchased or that I'm using in this video, I literally got on Amazon. Like everything. The resin, the Mylar sheets, even the UV light that you see. That is basically a light that they use in the nail salons. And those are the best lights, in my opinion, to use for resin, because they aren't expensive. Like if you were to buy a light that specifically says for resin, it might be a little pricier than just a regular UV lamp that they use in the nail salon. So you could get the UV lamp that they use in the nail salon, and everything that you need, the Mylar sheets, the UV resin, everything will be available on Amazon. So here I am putting another layer on top of the side that has the earring hook in it, so that I can lay the other piece on top and cure. But when you put this resin, two things. One, you might want to make it easier on yourself to just, use the UV resin straight out of the bottle and squeeze it in, and lay it and cure it. But that's not the best way to do it, just because you will be able to see the clear layer in between the two earring sides once it's cured. Like it will look like basically a sandwich with, a clear piece in the middle. So you don't want to do that. So you do want to use the same resin that you are using for the actual earrings. It has to have the alcohol ink or pigment, whatever you choose to use. It has to have it in there already, so that it looks like one uniform piece and not, two separate sides. And you also want to make sure that the Mylar sheets are flat as possible, and basically it's like staying in the lines, so that when you cure it, it's less basically cutting around the edges like I'm doing right now, because the edges do come out sharp. This is just for this particular mold and, earrings that I make, because I do make my earring molds. So when they come out, sometimes they're jagged around the edges, so I have to clean them up. But when you do when you put the resin inside before you lay the piece on top, you want to make sure that it stays in the lines as much as possible, so that any pieces of the Mylar sheets aren't sticking out, because they will cure hard and you will have to cut that off when you take the earrings out of the mold, and it's just more work for you. So just make sure that when you're doing it, it's as neat as possible if you are doing it like this. And I was actually considering selling these earring molds, but I'm not sure, how much people would want them. But if you guys would want any earring molds like this, I have bamboo earring molds, or bamboo earrings in different sizes and everything, that I make myself for the molds. If you guys are interested in that, please drop a comment and let me know, and I will definitely consider putting the earring molds in my on my website. But yes, right now I'm just putting resin like in the sides, because when you're working with it like this, the resin will draw into the piece. So if you lay resin on the side of the mold, and in between the two pieces, it'll literally just suck the resin inside to fill in the empty spaces that, didn't get covered by the resin. You want to make sure the inside is as filled as possible. For earrings like this, because you really won't see through it, it really doesn't matter, but I am a perfectionist, so I do want to make sure that the piece has, um, resin all the way around. But if you're making earrings that are be like transparent, you definitely want to make sure that you go all the way around with the resin and make sure that it's filled and there are no holes, because you will be able to see like little bubbles and little empty spaces within the earrings if they are transparent. So you want to make sure that the top piece is as even as possible on the mold, because when you take it out, if it's not even, you will really be able to tell, like, it will be, it won't be flush all around, and you'll be able to tell, and it's basically going to create more work for you, because you will have to, I use a Dremel, but you'll have to Dremel all the way around to make it even, if you want your piece to look, you know, as clean as possible. So I laid both pieces on top and I cured. Now I'm going to be taking them out, and I'm going to show you. Um, I don't think you'll be able to really see it. I am doing a voiceover if you can't tell, but there will be jagged edges around the earrings, and I'm just gonna use it's called a deburring tool, this piece that I'm getting here. So this is a deburring tool. You can also find this on Amazon, and for the edges that, aren't smooth or they're jagged, you just use the deburring tool to go all the way around, and it cuts it off so easily. You can use like a X-Acto knife or something like that to do this, but the deburring tool really is like exceptional when it comes to cutting off the jagged edges around the earrings. So I'm just going to use this tool on both pair to get them nice and smooth before I move on to the next step. When you use this tool, you do want to make sure that you be careful, because You know, if you don't have the grip right, or if you're not paying attention, you can like cut yourself. So make sure you are being very careful when you're using this tool, because that little curved piece that is cutting is literally a blade. It's sharp. So be careful when you're using this tool. Bamboo earrings really aren't, you know, everyone's style, especially big hoop earrings like this. But can you imagine like some little cute studs, or maybe some necklace pendants, or even rings, because they do have resin mold rings. Like, can you imagine? Because I do make the rings as well. Usually, when people purchase my earrings, I like to make a ring to go with the earrings, and I give that as a free gift to my customers. But you know, this opal technique can go far. You can make lots of pieces of jewelry with this, and it doesn't even have to stop at jewelry. You can make all type of resin products with this. Like, can you imagine like a big opal serving tray? Like, that would be beautiful. I may make that in the future, because I also make like home decor products and stuff like that. So I may just do a video with opal like trays and things like that in the future. But coasters, everything, anything like that will be so pretty with this opal technique. So now I'm just using my little nail brush. If you notice, in a lot of my videos, I do use a lot of products that they use like in the nail salons and stuff like that. But that's just because I also make press-ons. So, you know, if you make anything with resin, or if you make press-ons or do nails or anything like that, the tools literally can interchange. And I'm not even talking about just like the tools that you use, even the accessories like little nail gems and stuff like that, you can also use in resin projects. Like, the possibilities are endless, literally, when it comes to the two. They're like distant cousins. So right now I'm just going to take the resin and fill in the little gaps around the edges of the earring to make sure that it's all nice and cohesive and looks like, you know, one single piece instead of two sandwiched pieces. You want to make sure that you do this as neatly as possible. You don't necessarily want to get any of the Mylar sheets in this piece. I'm just dipping my tool directly into just the resin and putting just the resin around the edges, because you don't want the Mylar sheets to stick out and create any more sharp edges, especially after you've already cleaned up the edges of the earrings. The earrings that I sell on my website, my Opal-like earrings, they usually have like a gold or a silver like edging around the outside of the earrings, and it's really, really pretty. But I'm not going to do that in this video. I'm just going to show how to do the Opal-like. But if you guys would like to see the earrings with the gold edging, um, you can go to my website, beautifullycreatedllc.com. Again, that's beautifully with Lee at the end. And you can check out my Opal-like earrings. You may even be able to Google it. It may pop out on Google, because I do try to optimize all of my products on Google. And it is Opal-like, Like earrings. If you want to check those out. So when you do around the edges, you don't want to lay them flat because it's a possibility that the resin could drip down the sides of the earrings, and you don't want that. So you do want to stand the earrings up when you're curing um, around the edges and the outsides of the earrings. And you want to make sure, of course, you don't get any resin on your hands. And look at those. Aren't they beautiful, guys? The flash is just remarkable. And remember when I said that you don't want to use little pieces, because you see that the flash, the pieces, like if they were little tiny pieces, it wouldn't look like opal. I don't know what it would look like. I don't even want to try it. But you do want to make sure that the pieces are as big as possible so they can look like this. And here I'm just going to try to show in different lighting how the opal looks. Look how beautiful that is. I may be biased because opal is my birthstone, but these are my absolute favorite earrings that I sell. And that is the tutorial for the Opal-like earrings. And I thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you like, and I will see you in the next video.